So I was recently thinking that there are a lot of people who do not identify themselves with any religion. They don't believe in God, or they're simply not sure. They're atheist, or they're agnostics, or simply not religious. But what struck me and what seemed really interesting to me is that there are many who identify themselves as spiritual, or claim to be spiritual, or believe in or engage in some sort of quote unquote spiritual practices. Now, from a normal Muslim perspective, that is very contradicting. I mean, how can you not be religious but still be spiritual? Because in Islam, spirituality and being religious go hand in hand, because spirit is Amrullah, it is the command of God, and the stronger your soul is, the more pure your soul is. In other words, the more spiritual you are, the more religious you will be, in your practice of the deen. But in the sort of the realm of the circle outside of this understanding, there are many, many people who believe they're spiritual, but they don't believe in religion. So I was thinking and kind of researching and observing what is their psychology, what is their understanding of what religion is and what spirituality is. So here are some of my thoughts on that. So, what I've understood is that these people, which of course, I respect everybody, these people, they view spirituality or being spiritual is in the sense that they see that there is some sort of unexplained, non-flesh, immaterial consciousness or some immaterial substance within you which kind of is related to enlightenment or consciousness or supernatural, and this is pure essence of some sort. This does not seek food or water or desires of the flesh like the body. They're free from the darkness and evil qualities of the human physical mind and the body. This aspect of being spiritual is just free from all the basal desires and all the basal gravities of humankind. So this is something elevated, something high above the lowly human characteristics, which is kind of not really from this material, physical, carnivorous, consuming world, which is a good thing in the way you or I am right now defining it according to their understanding. And religion, on the other hand, is, in their perspective, a set of practices that evolved amongst different groups of people scattered all around the planet historically, which were basically shaped and influenced by their location, by their socio-economic and political interests and influences, basically. So each set of people who basically originated or came up with their own religion, that religion was nothing but a survival mechanism for the mind on how to perceive things and that things make sense. It was rationalization of the random world, because this is kind of looking through a very postmodern, nihilistic, post-enlightenment period, which kind of assumes that everything is random and does not really have a meaning. So in their perspective, religion is unnecessary, or maybe a necessary but unreal rationalization of truth and assumptions, which kind of is called religion, which of course, as I said, was formed and manipulated and developed over thousands of years by many different forces acting on the people. And this age of globalization, we just see all the religions at the same time. So that's how they view it. So let's revise. Spirituality is the immaterial consciousness which kind of withholds the moral and ethical standards. It is something above the basal needs of a human being. And when we are being spiritual, we are actually returning to our essence of who we actually are beyond the material body. And religion, on the other hand, is a man-made system of living and understanding things. Therefore, religion is not pure, it's not something to be desired because it's infiltrated with multiple human biases accumulated over thousands of years, influenced by different kind of socio-political, economic, agricultural influences, and that's what religion is. So today, for the people who say I'm not religious but I'm spiritual, that's basically the pretext and the context of what they understand and what they mean. But from an Islamic perspective, or I would say even from a Christian or a Judaic perspective, from Abrahamic perspective in general, that is not how we have understood, alhamdulillah, the case. We believe that God Almighty, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He created the human body and He created the human soul. Although a part of Christian theology has three elements to the human body, to the human existence: the body, the soul, and the spirit. The spirit only remains in the body while we're in this realm, and once we die, the spirit is just gone and the soul actually goes to the next world. So that from Islam perspective, there's just the ruh and the body. So the cleaner our ruh is, which is in the Quran, Amrullah, it's a command of Allah, the command of God, the stronger it is, the more inclined we will be towards the commandments of Allah. So religion, in our understanding, is not a human construct. It is a divine instruction. So yeah, there's a lot that could be said about it. But yeah, this is another group of people who actually do understand that just like the spirit is from the divine, in a sense, religion given to different people all around the world is also, or was also given by the same divine source. So these people essentially are the perennialists, who kind of believe, it's not very clear, it's actually quite vague as to what exactly perennialism is, but the basic idea is that all religions are the same or have the same truth because they all come from the same source, so hence no one's right and no one's wrong. It's essentially the same thing. So these people, unlike the atheists and the agnostics, do actually believe that religion is also divine, just like the spirit, but they don't really have the concept of a right religion or wrong religion, or that the clear classification of guidance and misguidance as such. So yeah, that's kind of a collection of thoughts from a bit of philosophy, a bit of anthropology, a bit of history, sociology, theology. I think that's enough food for thought for today. Assalamu alaikum.